Live from Hollywood, the Phil Harris, Alice Faye Show. For your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris, Alice Faye Show. Written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Scharf and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. For quite some time, the Harris children have been questioning Alice about her movie career. They want to know all about their famous mother, and they're quite insistent that she tell them.
But, Mommy, if you were a big star, you must have a lot of newspaper clippings about yourself. Show them to us.
Oh, honey, I never kept those. If I had saved all the clippings, I'd have 20 scrapbooks full of that stuff. But not being a ham, I never...
Hey, Alice!
What?
Where do you want me to put these 20 scrapbooks you asked me to bring down?
My scrapbooks? Well, I never even remembered having any. Where on earth did you find them, Phil?
Right under your pillow where you always keep them.
I just put them under my pillow because I like to have my head elevated a little when I sleep.
A little? You're sleeping so high now you get nosebleeds every night. Last night you fell out of bed and kept hollering, "My chute won't open, my chute." Geronimo! 20 scrapbooks.
Now, Phil, they're not all mine. Only 2 of the books are about all the pictures I made.
Well, what are the other 18?
About the one picture you made.
Mommy, what's in this book? These aren't press clippings.
Well, let me see. Oh, Phil. This is filled with little souvenirs of our courtship. All the things you sent me. A lock of your hair. Your first flower. Your first letter. Your first IOU.
Now, wait a minute. I never asked you for any cabbage.
You didn't, huh? Listen to this. The first letter you ever wrote to me. My dear Miss Faye, even though I just met you last night, I feel I know you well enough to ask you a very important question. Can I put the lug on you for $100?
Didn't Daddy write you any beautiful love letters?
I certainly did, Phyllis. Hey, just happen to have one. Here's one that's a beaut. Oh, this will make your curls stand on end. Just listen to this billet ducks. It starts off, and I quote, "My darling, I just can't go on without you. You're the most beautiful thing in the world, and if you don't marry me, I'll kill myself. Please say yes, and you'll make me the happiest girl in the..." Whoops, wrong letter. No, this one your mother wrote to me, girls.
Oh, I never wrote that. Let me see that letter. Signed, passionately yours, Sophie Flommerfelt. What is a Sophie Flommerfelt?
Oh, Sophie Oh, of course, old Soph. Yes, sir. She was my first love and world's champion flagpole sitter. I'll never forget the day I shinnied up to ask her to marry me. She played hard to get.
What'd you do?
She greased the pole.
Oh, you certainly got him in those days, dear.
Mommy, did you have a lot of boyfriends before you married Daddy?
Yes, dear. Quite a few men wanted to marry me.
Well, if so many men wanted to marry you, how come you picked Daddy?
What kind of a question is that?
Well, I just wanted to know why Mommy liked you better than any other man.
Oh, I gotta have this kid psychoclimatized. Your mother married me because she loves me.
Have you ever regretted getting married, Phil?
Perish the thought. I've loved every minute of our marriage. The years have flown by so fast it hardly seems possible that we've been married for 20 years.
It's been 9 years.
9? I could have sworn I signed up for 5 hitches.
It's been 9 years. Now look for yourself. The marriage license is in my scrapbook.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'd like to see that. I haven't looked at that marriage license since the day we got married. Oh, yeah, here it is. The deed to my lily white soul. Hey, look at this, honey.
Well, I can't right now. I have to get the children off to school. Come along, girls.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Goodbye, girls. How about that? Our wedding certificate. Ooh, that brings back a lot of memories, and I can just... Uh-oh. Come in. Oh, hello, Frankie.
Hi, Curly. What you got in your hand?
My marriage certificate? I was just looking it over.
Trying to find a loophole, huh?
Frankie, please.
It's amazing how a little piece of paper like this can louse up a man's life.
Frankie, my life isn't loused. My life isn't loused. I'm not looking for a loophole. I'm a happily married man.
You're just saying that. If you can't find anything wrong with the wedding certificate, I know a crooked lawyer.
Will you cut that out? You should be the last one in the world to try to break up my marriage. After all, you were the best man at my wedding, and you were one of the witnesses at the ceremony.
I was?
Certainly.
I can't seem to recall being at your wedding.
Oh, Frankie, now don't you remember my wedding day? You picked me up at my house. We opened up some champagne, and you toasted my happiness. Then you toasted Alice's happiness, and then your mother's, and then her father's, and then her Aunt Hilda's, and then you toasted the wedding presents, and then the drapes, the end tables, and the Now, don't you remember?
Only up to Aunt Hilda. Then things went blank.
Well, just take my word for it. You were at the ceremony when the Justice of Peace married us. You were the guy who stood up for me. I say stood up. You had to use the judge's wife as a lean-to. But you made it. She was a hefty kid. Used to be fullback with the Green Bay Packers. We got a break.
Curly, are you sure I was one of the witnesses?
Of course. You and Willie signed the marriage certificate. I saw you sign it. Well, look, here are the signatures. William Faye. And here's your name, Clyde Crail. You see, Clyde Crail! Remley, why did you sign this name?
I guess I thought I was signing a police blotter. That's the name I always use when I'm caught in a raid.
But, Frankie, you signed a phony name. It ain't legal. What's the matter with you? Wait a minute. Do you realize that this means that Alice and me ain't married?
Congratulations, Curly. But don't stand there. Let's call up a couple of dames.
Wait a minute. You must be crazy or something. This is serious. And on account of your phony signature, my marriage to Alice is dull and void.
I'll take the rap for the void part, but if it's dull, that's your own fault.
All the troubles, and all of my troubles started when I met you, Remley. Why did I have to walk down that alley and trip over you? Look, we got to keep this from Alice. I don't want her to be embarrassed. Now, how am I going to straighten it out?
Why don't you and Alice slip away and quietly get married again?
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
Sure.
Then I wouldn't have to tell her why, would I?
Mm-mm.
Hey.
What?
I'll put it on a romantic basis. I'll tell her I want to marry her again and go on a second honeymoon. Yeah, a lot of people do that, don't they?
Sure, that's it. Come on, let's go in and propose to her, Curly. Now, look, when you propose to Alice, make it flowery. Make her feel like you mean it.
Oh, gee, Remley, it's been so long, I've forgotten how to propose to a woman.
You proposed to her once. Do it the same way. Use the same proposal.
The same proposal?
Yeah.
Let me see. What did I say? Oh, yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Oh, Alice!
What do you want, Phil?
Darling, I know I'm not working, but will you marry me? I know you're loaded and I haven't got a biscuit to my name, but I ain't going to let your money stand in my way.
Phil, when you took the children to the playground yesterday, you didn't fall off the Ferris wheel, did you?
Oh, honey, I'm trying to ask you something. Alice, how would you like to get married again?
Oh, I'd love to. If You got anybody in mind for me?
I mean, how would you like to marry me again?
Don't you think once was enough?
Alice, you don't understand. Let's make believe that we've never been married, and now I'm asking you for the first time, huh? Will you marry me, dear?
Yes.
I knew she'd say yes.
With 2 children, I should say no. Phil, what is this all about?
I want you to marry me.
But we've been married for 9 years.
I know, but it's renewal time, and I'd like to pick up your option.
Pick up my option?
Yes, miss, you've been with us a long time, and we like your work. Of course, times are a little tough, and if we do keep you, you'll have to take a little cut. However...
Wait a minute, Remley. Quiet a minute. Now, what do you say, Alice? Will you marry me again?
Don't be silly. Of course not.
But, darling, don't you realize we're growing away from each other, and this is our chance to recapture the dawn of our love? Don't you miss the whispered sweet nothings, the exchange of coy glances, the arch look of 2 lovers? Let us fly away together, and once again we shall regain the soul-searing ecstasy that bodes paradise. What do you say?
Take me, I'm all yours.
Frank! Will you stay out of this?
I'm sorry, Curly. You did that so beautifully. I was carried away. That really made an impression on me.
Oh, me too. I got a good mind to forget about her and just fly away with the fly.
Oh, gee, Phil, that was beautiful. You know, you haven't spoken to me like that since we were first married.
Well, that's what I mean, honey. Now, if we were to get married again, well, we'd sort of start all over. Will you do it?
Well, I feel kind of silly, but okay, I'll do it.
Good. Now, you go upstairs and get your coat, and we'll go right down and get married.
All right, honey lamb. I'll be right down. Goodbye.
Goodbye? Curly, you sure you want to marry her again? This is your chance to get out.
I don't want to get out. All dames act a little stupid when you propose to them. Hey, Remley.
Yeah?
You were so right. Oh, that proposal worked like a charm.
Sure. And Alice will never know. You'll get down to City Hall, get your license. Inside of an hour, you'll be married, and nobody will be the wiser.
Yeah, and I'm lucky to get out of it because she'll... Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Well, if we get married at City Hall, there's going to be a lot of publicity.
Not if you know the right people.
And you know the right people?
Do I ever know the wrong people?
No. I wouldn't call them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even call them people. But as long as it's at City Hall, I guess it's got to be on the level. You wouldn't fool around with nobody.
Of course. This guy I know will marry and keep it undercover.
Okay, we're going to be on our way just as soon as Alice
Well,
gets...
I'm all ready. Oh, by the way, Phil, where are we going to be married?
City Hall?
But we were married there last time.
Yeah, but this time it's going to be a legal ceremony.
What does he mean by that, Phil?
Oh, it's nothing, honey. It's a legal ceremony. See, it's a song cue.
A song cue for what?
For whatever you're going to sing.
The breeze is chasing the zephyr. The moon is chasing the sea. The bull is chasing the heifer. But nobody's chasing me. The rooster's chasing the chicken. The pee-wee, some wee pee-wee. The cat is taking a licking, but nobody's taking me. Nobody wants to own me, and I object. Nobody wants to phone me, even collect. The leopard's chasing the leopard. The chimp, some champ chimpanzee. The sheep is chasing the shepherd, but nobody's chasing me.
Nobody's chasing me. The flood is chasing the levee. The wolf is out on the spree. The Ford is chasing the Chevy.
But nobody's chasing me. Each night I get the mirror from off the shelf. Each night I'm getting nearer, chasing myself.
The clams are almost a-mixin'. The hens are chasing TV. The fox is chasing the vixen.
But nobody's chasing me.
Nobody's chasing me. Hey, look, Alice, the City Hall. You can almost see it through the smog. Brings back memories, doesn't it, honey?
Oh, it certainly does, darling. We were married here. Do you love me as much now as you did then?
Of course I do, Pesh. How about you, doll?
Oh, you know I do, Poopsie.
Oh, stop slobbering over each other. Let's go in.
Okay. Hey, here's the main lobby. How do we get to your friend's office,
Oh, we have
Frankie?
to take the elevator. He has the penthouse suite.
Well, here's an elevator. Let's get in, huh?
Hey, penthouse suite, huh, Ram? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that you knew such important people. You must be a big shot. Penthouse
So
suite.
naturally. You can't be small potatoes and have your office in a penthouse. You see, I...
For, sir?
Down, please.
Down? Remley, I thought your friend had his office in a penthouse.
He has. You see, he's afraid of high places, so he had the penthouse put in a cellar.
House in a cellar? Your friend must have a lovely view down there.
Oh, yeah. On a clear day, you can see Bullock's basement.
Remley,
What?
we've been going down for 10 minutes. Where does your friend Lucifer hang out?
His name ain't Lucifer.
Bottom level, all out.
Thanks, son. How do we get to Mr. Dante's office?
That's straight ahead and take the stairs down.
Oh, how can we go down any further?
Don't exaggerate. We're not down that far. Now, come along. Watch your step, Alice. Don't hit your head on the sewer pipes. It's a nice, cozy place to get married, isn't it?
You mean we're supposed to get married here? I won't do it.
But, Alice, Curly wants this marriage kept quiet. He don't want any publicity.
That's right, honey. Besides, well, this is kind of romantic. Just think, Alice, you'll be the only movie star who was ever married underground.
Well, I want no part of this. Come on, Phil. We're getting out of here.
All right, honey. Hey, Remley,
What?
we'll go upstairs and we'll be married by the city clerk. Now, come on. Boy, feels good to be up in the daylight again. Back at street level.
Phil, if we have to get married, let's get it over with. Let's go find the city clerk.
Okay, but, well, you better wait here, Alice. Frankie and me'll take care of everything. You stay here.
Oh, fine. Frankie gets in on my wedding and I don't.
Oh, we'll let you be there for the wedding.
Yeah, we'll try to make a spot for you. You'll be all right. We're just going to make arrangements for the license and somebody to marry us. Look, Alice, you meet us upstairs in about an hour.
All right, fellas, and do your best to find a spot for me in this one, will you?
Yeah, we'll work you in. Come on, Remley, let's find out where you go to get married.
I know where it is, Curly. Let's get in the elevator.
Okay, but wait a minute. We're not going back to the coal pits again, are we, John L.? Now, like to get my carbide lamp on if we're going down there.
Please, Curly. I promise you we're not going down again. Step in the elevator.
Up or down, sir?
Sideways, please.
Remley. Look, son, take us up to the city clerk's office.
Here we are, Curly. Licenses. Let's go up to the window and get your application.
Okay. Pardon me, sir. I'd like to get a license.
Hunting, fishing, dog, or auto?
No, I want a marriage license.
Aren't you a little old for that sort of thing?
What do you mean, old?
Well, for men your age, I always recommend the hunting license. Not as much fun, but more relaxing.
Yeah. Look, I don't want a hunting license.
Well, then how about a dog license? With that, we give you a collar, 2 pounds of horse meat, and a free rabies shot.
Look, Bud, I want a marriage license. What have you got against marriage, anyway?
I am a married man.
So?
Oh, I gotta draw pictures for this guy. Now, look, Buster. Getting a wife is like buying a used car. It looks good on the lot, but let it stand out in the rain for one night, and the paint starts to peel off, the upholstery gets soggy, and the next morning, what have you got? An old heap that the smiling Irishman wouldn't be found dead with.
Someday I'd like to meet that old Essex you married. Does she crank on the side, or Look, I got a wonderful girl and I want to marry.
Okay. Have it your own way. Now then, who do you want me to make this fishing license out to?
I don't want a fishing license. I'm not interested in anything but getting married, and
The bluegill are running great at Lake Henshaw.
Well, I don't care if they're... What are they biting on?
I use worms.
Worms? That ain't no way to get bluegill. You got to use dry flies. Now, when we get up to Lake Henshaw this afternoon, I'll show you how
Curly!
Oh, yes, the marriage license. Look, Bud, I got to get married this afternoon. We'll go fishing some other time. Maybe tonight. Now, give me the marriage license.
Okay, it's your funeral. Here's an application blank. Just fill it out, take it to window 14, and they'll give you the license.
Thanks. Come on, Remley, let's get out.
Yeah.
Hey, look, all I got to do now is to fill out this application, and I take it up. Hey, Remley. Something just occurred to me.
What?
Well, can't you see if I fill out this form and take it up to the license window, they'll recognize me. Then they'll look up the old record, and the whole sordid story will come out.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, Curly, I'll fill out the application for you and Alice and get the license for you. Nobody knows me.
Would you do that for me, please?
I'd love to.
Oh, thank you. Now, go ahead, but will you keep this quiet,
Yeah,
please?
okay. I'll be right back.
All right. Come to think of it, I'd better not let anybody even see me here. Because if I'm recognized by anybody, it's going to get in the papers
Hi,
and...
Mr. Harris!
Oh, no, Julius. Oh, no, that kid's like an empty beer can. You find him all over the place. If he finds out why I'm here, I'm dead.
What are you doing down at the License Bureau, Mr. Harris?
I came down to get some new plates.
Having trouble eating with your old ones, huh?
When will I learn not to throw him a lead line like that? Look, kid, I give up. Now, look, let's start all over again. What are you doing at City Hall?
I come down to get a license for my mother's trailer.
Well, why don't she just hang a... No, I better not toy with that.
You still haven't answered me. What are you doing here, Mr. Harris?
Well, I'm here with Mr. Remley. You see, he's going fishing, and he came down to get a license.
Well, I got the marriage license, Curly.
There he is now.
He got a marriage license to go fishing? He must be in love with a flounder.
What are you talking about, kid? I just got a marriage license.
Quiet. Look, you see, Julius, Mr. Remley did come down to get a marriage license, but he has to keep it a secret.
Ah, the flounder's family objects, huh?
Religious reasons. You see, they're piscatorial and Remley
Never mind.
So you're getting married, huh, Mr. Remley?
If Curly says so.
Tell me, who are you marrying?
A woman.
No kid. You mean a human one?
Yeah, a human one. She's made from flesh and blood with 2 arms, 2 legs.
How many heads?
He hasn't counted them yet. Now, will you beat it, kid? Get away.
Okay, but before I go, I'd like to offer my congratulations to you, Mr. Remley. Good luck to you and your bride.
Thanks.
I suggest that for your honeymoon, you take your bride to Niagara Falls. That is, if her chain will reach that far.
We'll put a few more links in it and get lost, will you? Always have to run into him. Hey, Remley, did you take care of everything for me?
Oh, yeah, I got the license, and I arranged for a justice of the peace here in the building of Mary's.
Swell, that'll take care... Wait a minute now. The justice of the peace is going to recognize me and Alice.
I
tell
took care of that, too. I got you a nearsighted justice.
How do you know he's nearsighted?
I broke his glasses. You got nothing to worry about. As soon as Alice gets here, you can be married again, and everything will be okay. Sure was a beautiful ceremony, wasn't it, Curly?
Yeah. And thanks for taking care of the marriage license and all the details for me. Remley was swell.
Oh, gee, Phil. Isn't this romantic? Just think. I'm married to you again.
Yeah. And it couldn't have happened to a more deserving girl. It's kind of thrilling, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, now that the ceremony is over, what do we do now, dear?
I don't know about you, but I'm going fishing with the marriage clerk.
Fishing? I thought this was supposed to be a big romantic deal, getting married again.
Oh, no, it wasn't really, honey. You see, Frankie signed a phony name as witness the first time that we were married, but this time we're legally married and we have nothing to... Hey, Remley.
Yeah.
Now, you signed your right name on this one, didn't you?
Well, naturally. Here's your wedding certificate, see? Witness, Francis Waldo Remley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Look at this, honey. We got nothing more to worry about. It says, on this 10th day of February, 1951, in the state of California, Emma Hammenschlager was legally wed to Irving Sadolsky. Remley, who are these people?
They're you and Alice. You didn't want anybody to know who you were, so those were the 2 names I put on the application.
Oh, what a day. Come on, let's go home, Emma.
Coming, Irving.
This is Phil again. A couple of weeks ago, we did a show about Red Cross blood donations. And we received a lot of wonderful letters from Red Cross blood banks throughout the country telling us of your fine response. We'd like to thank you now for your blood donations and ask you people who haven't donated yet to remember that the need is urgent. Go down and donate for the boys. Thanks again, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This program was produced and transcribed by Paul Phillips. Included in today's cast were Jerry Hausner and Jim Backus. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliot Lewis, and Julius was played by Walter Tetley.
Now head to Hopper's show, then Theater Guild on NBC.